iOS 18 beta has been out for about a week or so, and as of the writing of this video, and I have to say that it has been a pretty neat experience. You do normally expect betas to be much buggier, but I've actually had a pretty good experience so far. However, not everything has been absolutely perfect, and while there are some features that I have taken advantage of, there are still some that don't really get that much love from me. That's why we're making this video today, in order to share my experiences with you, in case you weren't sure if you yourself wanted to upgrade to the beta or if you should just wait for the full version. Welcome back everyone to the Wondershare Dr.Fone channel. My name is Francisco, and today I will be talking about my experiences using the iOS 18 beta as of now. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Now here's what's missing. So I firstly wanted to note that there is a pretty big missing feature from the iOS 18 beta that we should expect to see in a later update, probably beyond the full release of iOS 18, and that is Apple Intelligence. Some of the features were coming with Apple Intelligence are things like personal context, semantic indexing, app control, and on-screen awareness, and even more than that, but these are really the highlights for me. Siri will eventually be able to access your photos, calendar, events, messages, and other apps to provide informed responses to queries. For example, Apple demonstrated a scenario where someone asks when their mom's flight is landing, and Siri determines the answer from recent text conversations and emails. Apple Intelligence generates an on-screen semantic index to store data gathered from your emails, images, visited websites, and user apps. Siri will also be able to control all individual features within apps, significantly expanding its range of functions. Siri will be capable of tasks such as opening specific documents, moving notes between folders, deleting emails, summarizing articles, emailing web links, and even opening particular news sites in Apple News. With on-screen awareness, Siri will increasingly be able to understand and interact with users' content across more apps. So another example here, if a friend sends a user their new address in messages, the user can just add this address to this contact card. These are really cool things coming, but we can't really rate how well these things will work until we have access to them in a later update. Now here's my experience. I'm going to talk about my experience using some of these features and what I think about them so far. The new home interface. One of the major changes in iOS 18 beta 1 is a redesigned home screen. For the first time in iPhone's history, app icons can be placed anywhere on the grid, eliminating the need for transparent widget workarounds to create blank spaces between apps. However, the most noteworthy addition to the iOS 18 home screen is the new icon and widget tinting feature, which just so happened to be introduced during this last WWDC 24. So with beta 1, users can now test this feature, which allows app icons to have dark mode variants that adjust to the system's appearance setting. Alternatively, users can apply a custom tint to all icons and widgets regardless of whether a developer has implemented support for the feature or not. In my opinion, this is one of the least appealing additions that Apple has introduced in a while. Typically, iOS features are more polished at launch, but I believe Android's Material U implementation is superior. Unlike Android, where app developers must optimize their icons and widgets for the tint, iOS applies the tint regardless, resulting in a design that resembles a poorly executed jailbreak. Okay, well, it's not really that bad. It is a little bit of an exaggeration on my end. And while I do think that the customizations from Android are certainly more best, and it shouldn't have taken this long to get here, I think that this definitely is a step in the right direction. Control Center. So yeah, this kind of leads us into talking about the Control Center. The iPhone's Control Center includes frequently used toggles, the Now Playing tile, smart home controls, and more. For years, Apple restricted iPhone users from significantly customizing the Control Center, allowing only the addition or removal of a few small toggles, leaving users stuck with the default settings. With iOS 18 beta 1, this changes, honestly, quite dramatically. Users can now fully customize the control center, even to the extent of having it completely empty if they choose. All toggles are replaceable, and some come in multiple sizes, allowing users to emphasize any button as much as they want. So yeah, larger toggles and tiles mean running out of space faster, and Apple does actually address this. By introducing control center pages. With iOS 18 beta 1, you can create multiple pages and customize them as needed, even adding the same toggle multiple times to the same or different pages. It's essentially a fully flexible canvas which is so cool. Personally, I've opted for a single page as my muscle memory is accustomed to that setup. However, I did rearrange some elements and appreciate the newfound customization. Some of my favorite changes include the new Now Playing tile, which I actually like quite a bit because it adapts to the album cover of whatever you have. iOS 18 now closely resembles Android's quick settings, allowing iPhone users to add and focus on just the shortcuts that they really need. Additionally, with the new API, developers can design their own toggles, which iPhone 15 Pro users can also assign to the action button, like me, expanding functionality beyond just the control center itself. Messages is way more expressive. This part is going to be shorter, but something that I feel is pretty cool here too, because I do like these little gimmicks normally. iOS 18 Beta 1 also enhances the Messages app. While RCS support isn't active yet, there are several exciting changes for testers to explore. These include scheduling messages and reacting to text with any emoji rather than being restricted to 6 tap-back options and stickers. Additionally, individual emojis sent or received appear much larger in iOS 18 Beta 1. Furthermore, Beta 1 introduces useful text formatting options that go beyond the basics. With iOS 18, users can bold, italicize, strike through, underline text, and do much more like that. And you can even do special effects such as big, small, snake, nod, explode, ripple, bloom, and jitter. Unlike the legacy bubble and screen effects, these new formatting and special effects can be applied to individual words, not just entire messages. I really like this stuff, and I foresee that I will continue using these features as well. The Photos app. Another significant change in the first iOS 18 beta is the redesigned Photos app. Apple completely rebuilt the app from the ground up, disrupting its previously intuitive user experience. As a result, I now actually really dislike it, because I find it pretty difficult to navigate to my frequently used sections, and I anticipate that those less tech-savvy will not appreciate having to reset their muscle memory when the update officially launches. That said, the new user interface is cleaner, and the animations are flashier. I'm confident that I will regain my comfort with the app once I adjust. However, as someone who relies heavily on this app, the time wasted trying to find what I need every time I open it is just very annoying to deal with. And now, despite these initial challenges, Apple has made some worthwhile additions to Photos in iOS 18. Beyond the new UI, Photos now have rounded corners for a more futuristic look, reminiscent of Vision OS. Many buttons are now rounded, you can pin collections, the interface is highly customizable, and there are new automatic categories and filters that can detect receipts, documents, and other specific types of images. However, one of the biggest updates to Photos in iOS 18 is missing at the moment in Beta 1. The new AI-powered cleanup feature likely won't be available until Apple Intelligence debuts later this year. I'm eagerly anticipating this feature, of course, as I often rely on things like Photoshop on my computer, or I tend to rely on even Affinity Photo on my iPad. These are just things that I would rather not have to take to a different device to have to mess with. Your lock screen. This would be the last thing that I tried to take advantage of, and I would say that this is pretty cool, and it does behave as something that I didn't really know I needed until I got it. One of the most requested iOS features has been the ability to remove or replace the camera and flashlight toggles on the lock screen. iOS 18 Beta 1 finally delivers this functionality, allowing users to switch to a different layout. Additionally, this release introduces the ability to control the flashlight's beam radius for the first time, not just its intensity, which a lot of people will take advantage of, I reckon. Otherwise, the lock screen in iOS 18 beta remains pretty much the same. However, Apple did introduce some new features such as a fresh rainbow font color if you are into that kind of thing. So I know that there are more features in iOS 18 beta, and I genuinely am sorry if I didn't mention your favorite feature here. I just wanted to focus on the features that I mostly took advantage of. Honestly, I do like what iOS 18 is setting out to be, because sometimes I do miss having an Android phone as my daily driver, and seeing as we have been getting closer and closer each time to having a more similar experience between the two, I'm really excited to see how Apple will innovate on their end to continue to still differentiate from Android, but still bring us so many of the features that we have been seeing for years. So yes, I do like it, and I do think that you should give it a try as well if you're excited about these features. But you can also always just wait until September to get the full version and just try it out then to make sure that some of the bugs are just completely ironed out, even though I personally haven't really experienced so many of them. I would say that for me, this has been a very stable update. Like, I haven't been doing so many things on my phone that I've honestly been able to notice all that much. So yeah, I would have to say that I am fairly happy with this update, and To those of you that are eager to test out some of these features, you absolutely can now by signing up to the developer program, and they do have a free tier for you to do that, which should make things a lot easier. But yes, I think it is pretty cool, and I very much appreciate that these things are available now so that I'm actually able to test it out at no additional cost. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way up until the very end. If you happen to like this video, please make sure to leave us a like, and please make sure to comment any of your thoughts down below. And also, if you would like to see us make an update to future iterations of this beta before the full release comes out later on in September or later on this year, please make sure to let us know in the comments as well. I would love to do an update if you would love to see that. Subscribe to our channel for more content just like this, and hit the notification bell so that you're always updated. Now, until next time, have a great day.